There are several ways to graph a linear function. Basically, you have to have 2 points. You can use the slope to find a second point and have any one point on the line, or you can find 2 points directly. Two of the easiest points to usually find on a linear equation are the intercepts. So let's look at an example. You know that the x-intercept is always going to be of the form some number 0, because the y is going to be equal to 0. So use this by plugging in 0 in place of the y value. So to get the x-intercept here, we would take 2x minus 3 times 0 equals 6. Now 3 times 0 is 0. When you multiply by 0, you get 0, and then when you subtract 0, it doesn't do anything. So plugging in 0 in place of the y is basically just going to get rid of this term and leave us with 2x equals 6. Divide by 2, we get x equals 3. Since the y was 0 and the x is 3, then that means that the x-intercept is the point 3, 0. For the y-intercept, a y-intercept is always going to be a point where the x value is 0 and then some number for the y. So the x is going to equal 0. If I plug in 0 in place of the x, that's going to get rid of that term and just leave the negative 3y equals 6. Now do not lose this negative. So if I have negative 3y equals 6, I would divide by a negative 3, y equals negative 2. So y is negative 2, x was 0, that's going to be the point 0, negative 2. And now all I have to do to graph this, if the x-intercept is 3, 0, then this is a point on the x-axis over 3 up 0. The y-intercept is negative 2, so it goes through the negative 2 on the y-axis. This is the point 3, 0. This is the point 0, sorry, negative 2. And all I have to do is plot those and draw the line. And I'm sorry, this doesn't draw a very straight line. So let's look at one more example. What if we had something with fractions? What if we had something like 2/5 x minus 1/3 y equals, I don't know, 7. To get the x-intercept, if I put in 0 for y, you always let the other guy be 0. For the x-intercept, the x is all important, the y is nothing. Literally, it's 0. So that's going to give me 2/5 x equals 7. The y term is just going to get canceled out when you plug in 0 in place of the y. In this case, I can get rid of the fraction by multiplying both sides by my common denominator. And since I only have one denominator, common denominator is the 5. These 5s cancel. Gives me 2x equals 35. Divide by 2. So x is 35 over 2. So my x-intercept is the point 35 over 2. That was the x, so that goes first. And 0. For the y-intercept, I would let the x be 0. That's going to leave a negative 1/3 y equals 7. Multiply both sides by 3. These will cancel. So I've got minus 1y, or just negative y, equals 21. That's the same thing as a minus 1. So divide by a negative 1. Y equals a negative 21. So my y-intercept is the point 0. negative 21, that's y, so it goes second. And then to graph this, the y would be way down here at the negative 21. X, let's see, 35 divided by 2 is 17 and a half. So somewhere over here at 17 and a half is my x-intercept. Here's my y-intercept. There's my line. So that's all you have to do. It's one of the easiest ways to graph any equation. So sometimes when you're using my math lab, it will not allow you to graph fractions. That's the only reason that wouldn't be probably the best way to do it in any case. So try this. We'll see you later. Have a good day.